What is up, world? Welcome to the Woz Report. I am Matt Wozbinski here with my cousin Andrew in the brand new apartment. We're just filming this real quick on my iPad, and we are going to run through our 2013 NFL predictions. I'm not saying that these are going to be all right, but probably they are because we know a lot about sports.
The Browns year.
No, it's never the Browns year. We actually have a lot of we don't agree on a lot of things. So we're actually going to run division by division, just kind of the wins, the losses, and interesting things about those teams. So Andrew, go ahead and kick us off.
The NFC East.
Okay. Okay, in the NFC East, this is my general rundown, bottom to top. I actually have the Giants at 5-11, the Eagles at 7-9, the Cowboys at 9-7, and the Redskins winning the division at 10-6. I think that the Giants could very well do better than that, and I feel like the Eagles are gonna wear a lot of people out just because they're fast. But I don't think that Michael Vick is a phenomenal quarterback, and I don't think their defense is that great. I think the Redskins, as long as RG3 holds up, will do fine. And even if they don't, Kirk Cousins, MVP! Kirk Cousins, I love him. The Raiders should have Kirk Cousins right now, because even as an Ohio State fan, Terrell Pryor.
We know Domo's going to be the first comment, so
yeah,
we might as well just say he's going to the Jags.
Domo, we hope you eventually get a quarterback. For those who don't know, our friend Domo is a Jags fan, so be praying for him. But yeah, I have the Redskins winning because I feel like even with RG3, I mean, unless he's gone for the season, but even if they have to rest him for a game or two, kind of like they had to do last season.
Still the complete team.
Yeah, they have a very good team. Defense is a little shaky, but I feel like they're solid enough to where it won't be.
Yeah, they got a horrible pass defense.
Yeah, but I feel like they have enough pieces. I have them at 10-6, so not dominant, and they only win the division over the Cowboys by a game. So nothing spectacular, but I do think that they're a very solid team. They should win that division. What do you think?
Yeah, I got them at 10-6 too.
Okay.
Of course, winning the division.
Okay, who do you have everyone else as?
The Giants at 9-7. They can possibly win it. They can win the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Cowboys at 7-9. I want to say they can win it, but I really don't think they can.
He hates the Cowboys. I dislike the Cowboys. He hates the Cowboys.
The Eagles at 6-10. So
okay,
I still think they can shock the world.
Yeah, and that's the thing. And there's one or two divisions in football that are kind of like this, to where I wouldn't be shocked.
Basically, the NFC.
Yeah, almost every division in the NFC is, in the AFC you have those one dominant teams and they just kind of feed on everybody else. But in the NFC, like, you have your favorites, but at the same time, if it was the complete opposite of what I'm picking, that wouldn't be shocking. I'd be bummed, obviously, because I picked wrong. But it wouldn't be shocking. Also, I noticed that I have the Eagles at 7-9, and you had them pretty low too, didn't you?
Yeah, 6-10.
Yeah, and so apparently neither of us are buying into the Eagles' hype. I think
I'm scared week one.
Because you don't know what he's throwing out there. Chip Kelly coming in with a new offense, and I think that it's going to be very similar to Oregon, where it's very fast paced. But I feel like their defense is also, it's going to be a lot of shootouts. So they're going to give up a lot of points. And the other thing that people don't understand about that fast-paced offense is you can also lose real fast. Because you can have the ball for 30 seconds and go 3 and out, and now the other team has the ball. So if it's not clicking, it doesn't matter how fast you're going, unless you're actually, catching the passes, making first downs and everything like that. So both of us agree on that one, that we think that the Redskins are going to come out in that one. What do you think?
Super Bowl.
They're not winning the Super Bowl. We'll get to that later, but...
they got a shot.
Okay, everyone has a shot, but...
Well, not the Browns.
Hey, you never know.
We'll get back to them. I got a cool story with them coming up.
Okay, next division.
The NFC North.
NFC North. Okay, obviously my favorite division here.
Alright, I'll go first.
Okay.
Alright, I got the Packers 12-4 by default, just like Stephen A. Smith.
Oh, gosh.
I got the Vikings at 8-8.
Okay.
The Bears at 6-10, and the Lions at 4-12.
See, this.
I had to put up. I just went through every game, and that's what I.
Yeah, and how we broke this down was we literally went through every game and said, okay, that's a win, that's a loss, that's a win, and not through their schedule because you have the bias that way. Like obviously you want to be more optimistic, but we went like week 1. What are all the matchups? Okay, here are the results of week 1, week 2, week 3, everything like that.
They went 4-12 last year.
I think,
but they weren't 4-12.
They weren't a 4-12 team. Is my thing. This actually hurts me a little bit. I have the Vikings at 6-10, the Bears at 8-8, the Lions at 9-7, and the Packers winning the division at 10-6. And also, I have I have the Packers winning, and I also have the Lions missing the playoffs, doing very well, and they could do better than that. But even at 9-7, that's winning the games you're supposed to win.
Schwartz gets fired, and then Chip Kelly comes in.
I don't know. I mean, if you're right, if they have 4 wins, then yeah, he's gone. But
yeah, I think 9-7 will save him.
Yeah.
7-9 and below, I think he's gone.
Yeah, and also with Packers, kind of like you said with default, I have them at 10-6, and a lot of that is because of laziness. I think they're going to have at least a game or 2 lead all the way through the season, and they played the Vikings last week. I think at Vikings, so I think it's gonna be one of those situations where they're low enough
That's
to
when
where
AP breaks the record, of course.
Yeah, and they don't have anything to really play for. They have the division locked up, but they're low enough to where they're not going to get a bye or anything off of the win. So they'll probably potentially rest starters or just, they know they're good. And so I feel like the Packers kind of have that mentality of they know they're good. And so maybe that passion won't be there every single game. And so 10-6, but I could easily see them winning more games than that. So we also both agree on that one. I mean, we disagree on the Lions, obviously, but
and I don't really think they're that bad.
And
that's how it ends up.
Yeah, and when you look at it, I could easily see them doing that because they have a lot of hard people. I mean, when you have to play the Bears twice, the Packers twice, they have to play the Steelers. There's a lot of games that they could easily lose. So I'm optimistic that they could be 9-7, but even at 9-7, the NFC is stacked. So even at 9-7, they're missing playoffs. So that kind of stinks. But
10-6, you're probably missing a wild card. That's how good it is.
The NFC is deep this year. Okay, what's our next division?
NFC South.
NFC South. Now this is the one I think is probably, in my opinion, I don't know because there's also the NFC West.
But I say the NFC West is the worst.
The worst?
I think it's the worst in the NFC because all the East, the North,
We'll
and the South.
We'll wait to bash on that.
Okay.
But NFC South, from bottom to top, I have Panthers at 4-12, which is making me nervous because I'm seeing more and more people pick them to actually make a wild card. Panthers at 4-12, Bucks at 7-9, Saints at 12-4, and Falcons at 13-3. So Falcons winning the division with Saints getting a wild card spot. And honestly, the Saints and Falcons were both tied, but I feel like the last week of the season, Falcons have to play the Panthers at home, and the Saints have to go to play the Bucks. And so I feel like that game might be... Because I feel like the Bucks, and I know Andrew kind of feels the same way, is the Bucks are a pretty good team. They're just in a really unfortunate division, and they're a very solid team, but they're just not a great team. So I feel like the Bucks could potentially, in the last week of the season...
It's all up to Freeman. If he's spectacular, they can go with it.
Exactly. So yeah, I have the Falcons winning division at 13-3, and then Saints getting the wild card at 12-4. What do you got?
Yeah, I got the Falcons at 13-3 too.
Okay.
Tied with the best record with the Broncos.
Okay.
The Saints 11-5 is a wild card. The Bucks at 8-8 and the Panthers 6-10. So we're basically
Yeah. I've seen a lot of people kind of get really excited about the Panthers. I don't really get it.
Yeah, I still don't see it. I think he's overrated. He's not mature enough.
I mean, he was named as a captain for the first time in his career, and that just came out.
But who else is going to be the captain? It's the Panthers.
True. I mean, I don't think they're a bad team, but once again, when you have to play the Falcons, the Saints, the Bucks, that's 6 games that you could easily lose right off the bat. And then you also have, obviously, other people on your schedule, so that just makes it tough. So yeah, we agree on our division winners in that one. So, what do you want to talk about?
NFC West.
NFC West. Okay, how about you lead off with this one?
Okay, I got the Niners at 11-5.
Okay.
the Seahawks at 9-7, barely getting a wild card.
Okay.
And I don't think they're as good as everyone else.
Mm.
The Rams at 6-10, and the Cardinals at 7-9. But that's why I think they're the worst in the NFC, because the Cardinals and Rams are so far down.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, every other division has at least 3 good teams. That's like saying if you think the Lions are the worst in the NFC North. I'm going based off last year.
Yeah.
And then the Eagles are the worst in the East.
Yeah.
And the Panthers are the worst in the South.
Yeah, and all those are still good teams.
Yeah, I'm just saying by deep, they might be the most top-heavy
in the
division.
In the NFC, I don't think, looking over real quick, there isn't a team in the NFC where I would be surprised if they made the playoffs. Obviously, more surprised than other teams, but at the same time, I wouldn't be shocked. If
like I said, even you as a Lions fan, you can make an argument the Lions are the worst team in the NFC.
Yeah, I could. And the thing is, according to my things, the Giants are going to be one of the worst teams in the NFC, and the Giants are a great team.
And you could see them winning.
And then I could also see them winning the Super Bowl, and also being the worst team in the NFC. So it's very easy to kind of, the AFC, you have very top elite talent, and then it kind of just goes downhill. But I have the 49ers winning the division at 12-4, Seahawks getting that wild card at 10-6. I'm also not as big of a fan as I don't think they're Super Bowl level. Then I have Rams at 6-10 and Cardinals at 5-11.
And I could see the Rams breaking through.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they have a really good defense. Sam Bradford could potentially finally do well.
Kayvon Austin, the rookie wide receiver.
Mm-hmm. But it's just one of those things, like I said, I'm not as sold on the Seahawks. I don't have them losing any games at home. I feel like they literally, probably them and the Chiefs, might have the best home field
advantage. I think I picked them to lose to the Niners at home, but then I had them beating the Niners on the road.
Okay, yeah. So I think I had that too, where they split, but then home team wins. So I'm not sold on them. A lot of people got super excited. I think, and on Scott Van Pelt on ESPN Radio, they were actually talking about why, all of a sudden, Seahawks are all of a sudden this hot pick.
And when you look at the playoff game, they were down 17-0 to the Redskins.
Well, that's the thing.
But then RG3 got hurt.
And that's the thing, is people are like, oh man, they could have done a run. But RG3 got hurt. And, so it wasn't even that great of a thing. It's not, like the Ravens, you can make that argument, okay, because you had to beat Tom Brady, you had to beat Peyton Manning. So, you kind of test that thing. And I think that the home field advantage is a big thing, but on the road with potentially a sophomore slump at quarterback, there's just a lot of...
If the Seahawks have home court field throughout the playoffs,
that would be dangerous.
Problems.
But the thing is, I think they're only going to get a wild card, so there's that. Okay, so good with NFC?
Yeah, let's move on to the AFC East.
AFC East. Go ahead, kick it off while I try to find where they're
Alright, I got the Patriots 11-5,
Okay.
and it just cause that's what always happens.
Yeah.
Then I got the Dolphins at 10-6 with a wild card.
Wow. Okay.
I like where Tannehill's going. I think he can go places. The Bills at 5-11, and the Jets at 4-12.
Okay. I have the Pats at 11-5. Once again, a lot of that, not off laziness. I don't want to call it laziness, but kind of.
You don't need to explain. Everybody knows why the Patriots are the best.
They're gonna win that division, and I don't think that they need to go, 13, 14 wins to do it.
Although I would love for the Dolphins to win that division. That would be awesome.
See, that's the thing, is I have them doing well. I have them at 8-8, and part of that is just beating up on the Jets and Bills. But Tannehill, I don't think Tannehill's that great. I see him going places, and that places is the bench in 2 years.
Really that bad?
I don't think he's that bad, but I just think he's okay. I don't think he's a franchise quarterback that I'm going to spend millions of dollars on and you want to build your franchise.
He's doing everything he needs to so far. We'll see where he goes.
Yeah, he won't.
He had a good rookie year.
He won't lose a lot of games for you. So he won't lose games. I don't know if he'll be clutch, win games, do all that. And then I have the Bills at 5-11, and then I have the Jets at 3-13. I don't have them winning a game until after their bye week. So yeah, they're gonna, according to what I'm thinking, they're gonna start like 0-7 at least, and then eventually get a win here and there. But yeah, I have the Pats easily winning that division. No. What's up next?
The AFC North.
AFC North. Go ahead.
All right. This is the best story this division in my scheduling.
Mm-hmm.
I got the Steelers winning it at 9-7. Week 17 against the Browns. Winner goes to the playoffs.
You have the Steelers
I have
and the Browns.
Browns one game away, but being the Browns and not making it.
So you have the Steelers and the Browns playing for the division week 17.
Yep.
Mm.
Just because that's how it all ended up.
So you think potentially if they were to win that game, you don't think they will.
I
Preface.
think they're each 9-7, but the Steelers have the better division record, so they go on by default.
Okay, so what you're telling me is it's gonna come down to like a tiebreaker last game of the season that the Browns missed the playoffs because of that.
Yeah, you just gotta look at their schedule. Trust me, it all adds up.
I've looked at it and I've seen it and I get where you're coming from.
And I got the Ravens 8-8 because I do not think they're as good because they lost all those players. I had them like 1-7 or something. Then I'm like, holy crap! I got to give them some more wins.
Yeah.
And then I got the Bengals at 7-9.
Okay.
I think they're better than that. That's just how it ends up.
Okay, I have let's see, I have the Ravens winning the division. Because here's my thing, a lot of people are like, oh, you lost Ray Lewis, oh, that really stinks. But the thing is, if we were brutally honest, their defense wasn't very good last year. They gave up like 400 yards a game or something last year. So they had the intimidation factor, but they weren't really that good. So I think
they lost like an O-lineman too, though.
I know, but I think they're getting
him and Bolden.
I think they're getting younger, and I think they're getting younger. They knew it was gonna have to eventually happen. That their veterans were gonna have to go or get signed somewhere else. So I think that they're 10-6, so nothing super impressive, but
you could see them going 8-8.
Yeah, I could see them not winning because I have them at 10-7, Bengals at 10-6, Bengals at 9-7, and then Steelers at 8-8 and Browns at 5-11. I could see where he's going.
They're going to be that team that started from the bottom. Now we here.
Yeah.
One team always does it every year. If you look at the past 15 years, it happens.
Yeah, it's just the Browns. If you were to tell me that about the Panthers, I'd believe you. But just 'cause, it's sort of like the same thing with the Lions. Like just because they're them,
just because they're the Lions,
it just makes it a little bit more tricky. But I have it pretty close. Like I said, 10-6, 9-7, and 8-8. So one division game.
And like I said,
goes different.
Bengal, I got them at 7-9. Like
they could easily.
I agree with 9-7.
Yeah.
They ended up losing the games I picked.
Yeah, so that could easily go the other way. Okay, so that's our pick for those. What's up next?
The AFC South.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, I got the Texans doing better than everyone else thinks they will. I got them 12-4.
Okay.
With the first round bye, so they get those home games against the Pats in the playoffs.
That'll help a lot.
I got the Colts at 10-6, not making the playoffs because I think the Dolphins will get it, the wild card. The Titans at 6-10, they're just garbage.
Yeah,
they just get 6 wins because they play the Chargers.
Yeah, like they were one of those teams where I could see them winning games, but every time I'm like, they could win that game. Like there was no games where I'm like, oh, they got this. It was always like, yeah, they could win.
How were they so good a couple years ago?
Probably
Jeff Fisher,
Johnson. Yeah, you won the coaching, and then Johnson, and then Vince Young actually did really well.
Well, it's bad because I have Chris Johnson
on
my fantasy team.
Andrew
I'm disappointed.
Andrew is doing fantasy football for the first time, so in the later Watch Reports, I will probably be making fun of him for his picks and how bad I am going to beat him this season. But that should also be fun. But yeah, and then Domo wants to know
how you the Jags at 4-12.
Okay. I have the Texans at 11-5 winning the division. I have the Colts at 10-6 but getting the wild card. I have the Titans at 5-11 and the Jags at 3-13. So I don't know. I think that the Texans are good. I don't think they're Super Bowl good.
If they play the Patriots at home, they can win.
They could win that game.
They're not winning in New England.
No, and that's the thing. Is I'm pretty sure I have New England will be the home team there. But, yeah, I think the Colts are very good. I think they're solid. I agree with
I don't think they're that good. I think Andrew Luck's carrying that team.
Well, that's the thing is, so you could
That's why I think they'll go a
that's-
little, like, barely. They're having one game less than what
Yeah, like who was it?
Andrew Luck's going to be even better than last year, but.
Yeah, and Mike and Mike, they actually picked Colts to make it to the Super Bowl. I don't see them being that good.
Greeny did, I think.
Yeah, but at the same time, I do think that they're a playoff team, especially getting so many wins against the Titans and the Jags.
He will get a Super Bowl,
I think-
just not this year.
I think that, if you can sweep the Jags, sweep the Titans, and then split with the Texans, that's 5 wins right there before you even get out the door. So,
And they beat them last year. Remember, the Texans had that number 1 seed, and
yeah.
they lost at Indy.
yeah. So, Texans, I think, are good. A lot of it just by being in that division. I think they're a
You
good
got
team.
Ed Reed now.
Yep. I mean, I think they're good. I don't think they're Super Bowl good, but I think they're win their division without breaking a sweat good. Okay, what do we got
Let's
next?
go to the AFC West.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, I got the Broncos 13-3, like beating the crap out of every team except losing to
Yeah.
the Patriots in New England.
Mm-hmm.
I think I got them losing that Sunday night game in Indy,
Yeah.
and then I threw one more loss there.
Yeah. Yeah, and then how's the rest of your division shake out?
I got the Chiefs at 10-6 of the wild card, and like you said, you go through every game, you have to pick them. They're that good. The Chargers 4-12. I really don't like them.
Yeah.
I think they have a shot at the number 1 pick. I think they're that.
You think
bad.
they're potentially worse?
I can
than
see the
league?
Jets squeaking out maybe 5 wins and them being worse. That's
Yeah.
how bad I do not like the Chargers. I think Philip Rivers is garbage now. I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
And I got the Raiders at 3-13.
Okay. Broncos, same as you, 3-13. I think that they'll.
13-3.
Yeah, not 3-13. Edit that. But 13-3. I think that they're gonna.
They're gonna win tonight.
I do think they are gonna win tonight. But yeah, they have a few games, and like you said, I think I kind of have them with the same losses. I have them losing at Patriots. I think I also have them losing at Colts, and then like you said, I think somewhere in there's another loss because it's not. There's just always going to be those games where you just don't have it that day, and the other team has. And then the other thing is the Broncos are the very high favorite to win it all.
Yeah,
so
that's who I picked.
so they're going to get like everyone's best shot. So they have they're not surprising anyone. Everyone's going to be prepared for them. But I still think they're going to be 13-3. I had the Chiefs, Brandon Party Cooper, one of my friends, big Chiefs fan. I have them at 11-5 and with a wild card spot. I think that
It's
they are
racist.
I think that they are very good. Potentially make it pretty deep. I don't know Super Bowl, but maybe AFC Championship game deep. I think that they're very good. I think that they've improved on quarterback. I think that they've improved on defense. I think they've improved on coaching. I just think that. And that would be huge.
Well, like I said, watch them play the Colts week 1. They can beat them.
Yeah.
And then they play like the Steelers. They
Yeah.
beat them. They can go to the Super Bowl. And it's unlikely.
Yeah, it's unlikely, but at the same time, it's just one of those things where they have a very favorable schedule. If they don't make a lot of mistakes and shoot themselves in the foot, they should be good.
But that being said, I think Alex Smith can go back to being.
Oh,
Alex
yeah, I
Smith.
think- and that's the thing.
Jim Harbaugh did wonders to him.
Oh yeah, and I hope that sticks. Obviously, it's an improvement on last year's quarterback, even if he does do not as well. But I think that they'll end up doing very well. And then Chargers, I have at 7-9. I don't think they're as bad as you think they are, but I do think they're bad.
Yeah.
I don't think that there's even a chance they'll make playoffs.
I think I had the Raiders with the number 1 pick, but them getting second.
And then I also have the Raiders with the number 1 pick. I'm a huge Ohio State fan. I'm a little bit bitter at Terrell Pryor just because of the sanctions and all that. But even coming from an Ohio State fan who loved Terrell Pryor in his college career, if he is your starting quarterback, you probably are not going to win a lot of games. Just the fact that that he's literally
I think I have them beating the Steelers at home.
I have them
Like they
winning
did last
twice.
year.
I can't think of good things to say about them. They have a really good kicker, and he'll be kicking a lot of field goals, very long field goals.
They have really good fans too.
And they have
Well, if you want to call them good fans.
they have passionate fans.
Yes.
They have very passionate, loyal fans. Let's state it that way. Okay, so those are our picks. We both have Broncos winning the divisions, and I have Chiefs making it at 11-5 with a wild card spot. Okay, let's finish it up.
All right, let's talk about the playoffs.
Well, wait. Did we get everyone?
Yeah, that's everyone.
Boom. Okay. So, just list off who you have going into playoffs.
All right. I got my 1 seed in the NFC being the Falcons,
Mhm.
2 of the Packers, 3 of the Niners, 4 of the Redskins, and the wild cards being the Saints and the Seahawks.
Okay.
That's the reason it's real hard for Cowboys, Lions, Buccaneers, Vikings to make it, just because the Seahawks,
Yeah.
Saints have those wild cards.
Yeah, like I said, it's not even that. There's literally no team in the NFC that I could be like, I can't believe they made the playoffs. Like, there's no.
Like even the Cardinals, they got Bruce Arians.
Like, I can
Palmer
tell-
can be good again.
Like, I can tell you, the Raiders will not make the playoffs. The Jets will not make the playoffs. There's. The Jaguars will not make the playoffs. But there's no team. Obviously, they're less likely to make the playoffs, but I can't confidently say that none of these teams are going to make the playoffs. How I have it, did you just do NFC playoffs? Or did you do all of them?
Yeah, you do.
Okay, I have Redskins winning the division at 10-6. I have Packers winning the division at 10-6. And then I have the Falcons winning the division at 13-3, and the 49ers winning the division at 12-4 with
so
the
who do
same
you have the higher seed, the Packers or the Redskins?
Packers. Just because I feel like honestly your guys' division is gonna be a little bit
Closer.
yeah. But I have and then trickle down effect, who do you have eventually making it to the Super Bowl out of the NFC?
Alright, let me check.
While he's checking, I
Okay,
can just tell you I have the Atlanta Falcons making it to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, that's who I picked too. And I have them playing the Redskins
In the
Atlanta,
championship?
And I think the Redskins can beat them.
Okay.
But I had to pick the Falcons, squeaking it out.
Yeah, I have here's
Next year I'm picking the Redskins to win the Super Bowl.
I
Not
could see
this
that.
year. Not this year.
he's a hardcore fan. But yeah, I have Atlanta winning it. I have them playing San Francisco to get into the Super Bowl.
Yeah, the same game as last year
Yeah.
in Atlanta, but
Because
I
the thing was, that was a great game.
It was.
And San Francisco obviously won, but I think that, one, people are already talking about how hard they're going to hit Kaepernick. And, I mean, even to the point where Harbaugh is getting really upset about it. But,
That's
I
what
think-
running quarterbacks do. They get hit.
yeah. And so I think that he's going to have a little bit of a slump. I think he's still going to be great, but I think that he's not going to be able to use his legs as much just because he doesn't want to get lit
Why
up every
is
single
Ryan
play.
Seacrest on the pregame show?
I don't know. Ryan Seacrest is on.
It's just a terrible idea.
We're getting ready for kickoff, so we're watching the pre-show, and Ryan Seacrest is. It's a nice suit, though. Okay, so who you got in the AFC?
All right. Like I said, I got the Broncos
Mhm.
representing the AFC. I got them beating the Patriots and all that. I got the Dolphins beating the Steelers in Pittsburgh.
For the playoffs?
Yeah. In the
So
cold.
not only do you have the Dolphins making the playoffs, you have them
winning one game.
winning a game.
Yeah. And then, of course, I have Denver beating the snot out of them.
Mhm.
And then, yeah.
Okay, I have Broncos 13-3, Texans at 11-5, Ravens at 10-6, and Pats at 11-5. And then my wild card teams are the Colts at 10-6, and
Did we have the same Super Bowl?
I don't know. Let's see. Chiefs at 11-5. Who do you have going to the Super Bowl?
The Broncos and Falcons.
I have the Broncos and the Falcons. I think that. Yeah, I think literally the only thing is that.
And this is the first time in a long time I have 2 1 seeds.
Yeah,
Because 2-1, always the 6th seed ends up winning the Super Bowl. That's how it goes.
and the thing is, I want to pick the Patriots. I think that the Patriots are a very solid team. The Patriots, besides quarterback, are one of those teams that are very good at a lot of things. So they don't shoot themselves in the foot a lot.
That's why they're going to Denver.
But yeah, that was the ultimate decider for me, was that Denver, because of being in a little bit weak, better of a situation, I think that they're just going to finish with more wins, have home field advantage, and I think that Peyton will beat Brady.
As long as he doesn't wear gloves this time.
Yeah.
That really screwed him, I think, in the cold.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is I feel like they'll just do really well. So, yeah, so my pick, preseason before kickoff even starts, and watch, the Broncos are gonna get demolished and Peyton Manning is gonna get hurt week 1. And
Brock
this is-
Osweiler, their backup, he's like 6'9". Did you see him?
That's freakishly tall.
I know. That's why they drafted him.
But so yeah, I have the Broncos. Wait, who do you have winning the Super Bowl?
Okay. I got a score too.
I don't have a score. I don't do scores because I'm not that good.
I got Denver winning it in the snow, 30-27.
Okay, I have the Falcons beating Denver. I think that the
I
only
kind of want to change the score because I think that the Falcons, remember, like, not last year, but the year for that, they only scored like a safety
Yeah.
with the Giants.
yeah,
I
and
see them being in the cold, just not being.
that's the thing is, I mean, they play in Atlanta. They play. It's just one of those things where I feel like that's the only thing that might screw them up is if it is snowing like crazy, if it is freezing outside.
I think Manning's getting used to it.
Then,
He
yeah.
wasn't.
Because I mean, even in like he's kind of more just he's been in the league longer, and Denver can get cold. So, while Atlanta, you're never gonna get cold. So,
Well, whatever team drafts Peyton Manning, I have them winning the Pro Bowl.
okay, makes sense. Oh my gosh, we'll talk about the Pro Bowl another day. But those are our picks. We have the same Super Bowl matchup, but I have Atlanta winning, and he has the Broncos winning.
Well, he needs to get one more than his younger brother.
I don't know,
That
dude.
frustrate me.
I don't know, dude. But thank you so much for tuning in. What are your guys' picks? Feel free to leave them in the comments down below. Tweet him at Taurus Assassin. Tweet me at DJ Waz. Once again, I'm Matthew Wazvinsky. That is Andrew Lowrick, and this is the Waz Report. Thanks for joining us.